there, I'm Alex Kidman, and these are the TRUEFREE O2 wireless headphones. Let's get into the review. So I'm honestly a little bit surprised to be reviewing the TRUEFREE O2s, if only because I reviewed the TRUEFREE F2s a couple of months back and I was not complimentary. And I was not complimentary for a reason, because those things were painful and bad. You can go and watch the review at your leisure. And so I was a little surprised when TRUEFREE contacted me and said, hey, we'd like to send you some headphones to review. And I thought, really? Well, okay, maybe this one will be a little bit better, or at least not as bad. Quick spoiler, yeah, it's not as bad, but it's still not great. Where the TRUEFREE F2s were copies of things like the Shox OpenMove, only a lot cheaper, the TRUEFREE O2 are a bit more like the Shox OpenFit Airs, only, again, a bit cheaper. Here in Australia, they'll run you about $80 a pair through Amazon only, as far as I can see. Elsewhere on the planet, obviously, they might be available through different retailers. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones are a pair of true wireless earhook-style running headphones that use an open-air approach for audio output, more on that shortly, and that can work quite well. Conceptually, it's not a bad idea, but I've got to admit, extremely nervous facing up to testing out the O2 headphones, simply because of how painful the F2 headphones were to wear. That was a design flaw. And here at least, TRUEFREE seems to have learned its lesson, because each of the TRUEFREE O2 buds are wrapped in a soft rubber that, unlike the F2 headphones, didn't cause me serious pain while in use. Which, I mean, it kind of feels like that should be assumed for headphones, but here we are. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones come in a very large, very light battery case that you're unlikely to lose, not just because of the size, but also because of the sparkly pattern and the orange ring and the words "Sound in Heaven" printed on the case for reasons. It's a largish case, which doesn't make it the most comfortable if you want to have it in your pocket while you're running. It is kind of light though, so it's not super heavy. It does not feel durable at all in any way. I really wouldn't want to drop this thing. It would probably shatter. Now, according to TRUEFREE's Amazon page, they list the TRUEFREE O2 headphones as both being waterproof and IPX5 rated. These two things are not the same thing. And I want to be really clear on that. Waterproof means that no water can get in whatsoever. In theory, if they're waterproof, you could go swimming with them. Don't go swimming with them. IPX5 means that they're sweat resistant, which, again, kind of feels like it should just be table stakes for most running headphones. But here we are. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones have open speakers rather than bone conduction, although open speakers almost feels like a misnomer because they're very open. My biggest complaint in audio terms is that these are super, super leaky headphones, and that's partially to do with the way that they fit around your head. While the soft rubber is more comfortable, it also leaves them even more loose than, say, the OpenFit Airs do. And that means the speakers are sitting a little further out from your ear, and you are going to hear them if you're near someone wearing them. You can even hear them when you open up the case. I'll demonstrate that here. Now, the issue here is that because they're sitting that bit further, and we're only talking millimeters here, but it all counts, that bit further out from your ears, you're going to need to pump the volume up to hear stuff, which of course makes the leaking worse. Now, some people are going to be more socially awkward about this than others. I'm not a big fan of broadcasting my personal music choices to the world. I'm not ashamed of them. I just don't like inconveniencing other people. Your mileage may vary. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones are compatible with TRUEFREE's app for iOS or Android, which lets you set touch controls and a game mode, and also audio equalization. There's also a hearing test, although I would not trust its results to speak of. Now, the one equalizer setting that I would suggest everyone uses if you do end up with a pair of these is to enable bass boost. Not so much because you automatically have to be a fan of doof, 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 but simply because, like most open-ear headphones, these tend towards the treble. Putting more bass in will make the music, no matter what you're listening to, sound that bit richer and deeper. It does improve the audio, but the audio is still deeply, deeply average. We're in AM radio territory here for sure. They work, they function, I could hear music, but it's not great. Now, obviously, these are exercise headphones, so what are they like for exercising? Well, I better go for a run, hadn't I? So how are they staying on? Well, so far so good. Definitely a little bit more comfortable than the prior TRUEFREEs. But I better finish this run first. Okay, 5k run down with the TRUEFREEs then. Less uncomfortable than the first set of TRUEFREEs I tested. Actually, they were alright. I do wonder about the softness of the rubber and how well it'll last over time, but they work. They're very leaky on sound though, and that is very, very obvious, especially if you've got the volume up. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones also have microphones, but again, the quality is pretty poor. And look, here's a run-through sample for you. The TRUEFREE O2 headphones would not be my go-to for pure audio quality. And while there is a question of getting what you pay for to an extent, I probably still would pay a little bit more for something that was a little bit better. And just to give that some comparison, here's me not on the TRUEFREE O2, just recording to the same phone from its own inbuilt microphone, the exact same distance from my mouth. Big difference, isn't it? On the battery front, TRUEFREE claims a battery life of 6.5 hours per charge on the headphones, with the battery case, of course, recharging them for a grand total of 22 hours, which is just mathematically weird. It's not divisible by 6.5. Presumably, the very last charge you get is going to be only a partial charge if you can't get to a charger. One nice aspect here is that the case is at least USB-C compatible. It's not micro USB. Small blessings and all that. The biggest battery issue I've had with the TRUEFREE O2 wireless is not actually the battery life, it's the battery existence. And specifically, this has to do with the left earbud, which just outright died on me one day. Just stopped. And I tried cleaning the connection pins and I tried pushing it back in, and it wasn't. And I was on the verge of just contacting TRUEFREE and saying, yeah, look, either these are dead or I just shouldn't pursue this. And then they sprang back to life, and they sprang back to life with full battery. And ever since then, I've been playing this kind of game of Russian roulette. Will the TRUEFREEs work for both ears or just one today? So far, it has been both, but I can't ignore the fact that the left earpiece just outright stopped working on me for a while. It's not a sign of huge quality. I don't genuinely know why it stopped, why it restarted, but it doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence in their ongoing battery endurance. So should you buy the TRUEFREE O2s? Well, look, they are a budget set, and I do have to take that into consideration when I'm evaluating their value. The problem is that they feel budget, and combining the battery issues that I've had and the noise leaking that I've had, they really don't feel like a compelling set at that $80 price, because if they died out and you bought another pair, you're into the price point of some much, much better, much more robust pairs and options that you can get out there. We're into the kind of Samuel Vimes' Boots theory of economics here, people, where if these were a substantial quantity cheaper, then yeah, maybe that might make a certain amount of sense for them not necessarily being that robust, but they're not. And that, I think, is a problem. I don't think they're as bad as the F2. They're certainly nowhere near as uncomfortable, but there's still not a pair that I can heartily recommend because they just don't feel, for an exercise pair, as though they're going to last the distance. So that's my take on the TRUEFREE O2 headphones. What do you think? Got any questions? Hit me up in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.